what's up, guys? This is Luke Jett back with the Thoughts of the Bench podcast. Here with Shane Hardy and Ben Marks, as always. What's up, fellas?
How you doing?
Good. Started out with Chelsea Dagger, of course. The big Hawks win last night. We'll go over that. Talk a little Bears off-season. Big trade. Ben loves it. Gabe Carimi gone. Tampa.
Why would you trade?
We're going through the rerun, man. You can wait till we talk about it. Go ahead, Luke.
Next, the NBA Finals, and then we'll try to fill in stuff for the rest of the half hour. First of all, we'll start with the Hawks. The game ended at literally the strike of midnight. Probably about a 4.5-hour game. Hawks won 4-3 in triple overtime. Andrew Shaw with the redeflection off Dave Bowen and then off a Michael Roosevelt shot. What did you guys think of how the Hawks played last night?
I love the way they came out. Everybody I talked to about the game so far said that the first, 7 minutes of the game was just awesome. How, both teams came out hitting.
Who the hell did you talk to?
Just people in general. You just have conversation with people. Anyways, everyone I've talked to, people in general, say that, they were really excited how the Hawks came out just, hitting. It was super intense, and I think the Hawks, came up that intensity. I really liked it.
I did too.
Yeah, game was up tempo the whole time, great intensity, and fun to watch.
I like the physical play. Hawks really came out 117 hits in the game, 120 shots, those numbers might be backwards, but regardless, ton of stats. Crawford had 51 saves. Suck it, Shane, for your Ray Emery comment 2 weeks ago. And Tuukka Rask had 59 saves in the loss. And yes, you did. You said Ray Emery should come in if Crawford keeps playing bad like that.
And guess who stepped up and stopped playing bad? I wouldn't say playing bad, okay? I'm going to say giving up the super easy goals that he gives up.
With a 1.7 goals against average.
But he does. All the goals Crawford gives up are, not all of them, most of the goals he gives up are easy shots that he blocked, and he just doesn't does it. But then he, goes into splits and glove hand save all the time, but he can't, the easy ones. Ray's been playing, been great. I think he's the reason the Hawks won that game last night.
In Shane's defense, I agree with him. Back when we did the podcast a few weeks ago, I thought that Emery should have been in there, but Crawford stepped up, made some huge saves, and proved us wrong.
Well, I'm not necessarily saying that Crawford shouldn't have been in the net, but I'm just saying that you give up those simple goals that he gave up back then, and that's something that is stopping him from, I feel, being the league goaltender.
I've been a Crawford supporter since day one, so I'd rather see Crawford out there than Emery. We're not here talking about the Hawks if Zdeno Chara's shot with 10 seconds left in double overtime doesn't ring off the post, just misses inches to go in. It was crazy.
Insane.
I was asleep. I didn't watch it. I fell asleep in double overtime.
That's ridiculous. I stayed up and watched the whole game. Shane stayed up and watched the whole game. Real fans. Big win. Saturday's game 2. It'll be another intense battle. 8 o'clock, NBC Sports Network. It'll be a big battle, big test for the Hawks. See if they can come out 2-0. Predictions for the series, we did them last week. We'll do them again after game 1. Ben, what you think?
What I saw after game 1, I think the Hawks can win this game, the series instead. But I think it'll be tough and in 6 games.
Shane, what you think?
I think that when the Hawks came out last night, they haven't played against the Bruins this year. They kind of came out not flat-footed, but they kind of came out not knowing what to expect, I guess. And by the time the game was, towards the end, they got a hold of what, they were doing and shut them down. I think Hawks in 5. I think it's going to be real close games and tough battles, but I think the Hawks, are going to come out hitting again and try to beat the Bruins at their own game.
I think the Hawks in 5 as well. I think the Hawks win Saturday, split in Boston, and then come back in game 5 and win. I just think the Hawks have too much firepower for the Bruins to handle, in my opinion. And we are going to switch gears into Bears talk. Well, a little trade went down the other day. Bears sent Gabe Carimi, former first-round pick, to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for a 6th-round pick. I like the trade. Get all of Angelo's guys out of there. He wasn't performing well. He started the first 14 games, but then underperformed and you just got to get those kind of guys out of there.
I agree. He's got to go, but I think the 6th-round pick was, might be a little low. I mean, he was your first-round draft pick 2 years ago. I mean, I think as bad as he was, I think the Bears should try to get a little bit more for him than just a 6th-round pick from Tampa Bay.
From what I've heard, it's a good thing they even got something in return. They were trying to release him, so.
I was not happy with the trade. I like Gabe Carimi. Like Shane said, they didn't get enough for trading for him, and Luke already said this, but all 9 of Jerry Angelo's first-round picks are no longer with the team.
Yeah, great history in first-round picks, too.
Well, yeah, I mean, they weren't the best, but I think Carimi was a dumb move by the Bears.
No, I don't. I think that he was lazy. He wasn't willing to go to minicamp. He was never working out. He didn't work out with his teammates when they were working out. He's not a team player. He didn't want to be in Chicago. You don't want that in the team.
Exactly.
Regardless of how good he was, I mean, if they were going to release him, regardless if they can get something from him or not, then getting a 6th-round pick is better than nothing, obviously. But
and they signed 1 or 2 offensive linemen in the offseason, too, so.
yeah, I think they said they got
Bushrod.
They're going to have 3 new offensive linemen starting this year for the Bears, including their first overall pick in Long.
Hopefully something's good to happen because Cutler needs to stay up on his feet if the Bears are going to want any shot at the playoffs.
Speaking of Cutler, said 2 days ago in an interview that he said that their offense is a 3-year offense. It's going to take them 3 years to learn it. What do you guys think about that?
New system, I mean, I can see it.
But 3 years, you think that is that Cutler trying to say something about the offense or what?
No. I just think, I mean, you need time to develop an offense.
I'd like to point in here, in a recent interview, Cutler also said that this is the most talented team that he's ever been on.
Exactly. Plus, I mean, you see what the offensive coordinator's done in the past. I mean, and maybe Cutler wants to stay in Chicago, too, because he's a free agent after this year. So, I mean, maybe he wants to stay and see how this offense plays out. Maybe he likes it a lot, so.
Yeah, I mean, last couple of days, he's been really vocal and stuff in these interviews. Like, he also said that it was a lot different having trust in the locker room because there was a coach who really cared about it, cared about his players in the locker room. And I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I thought Lovie Smith did a good job in Chicago. I liked Lovie in general. I mean, last, a little bit, at the end, didn't have a lot to, go with, but I thought earlier he did a lot for Chicago.
Yeah, I mean, but you got to think of production. He was there 9 years.
Yeah, I mean, it's time to go. It's time to go. But I mean, I didn't think that Lovie Smith's the type of guy who would hate his players in the locker room. You think that's just something that Cutler trying to say to show that he has faith and trust in or what?
Maybe. I mean, maybe he does. I don't know.
I think what the Bears were lacking was that spark of a coach. Lovie was not that kind of guy.
He was an offensive line.
Well, that too, but in order to get your guys motivated, you have to have motivating coach, and Lovie wasn't about that.
Exactly. And they need everybody healthy, too. I mean, that was rough. A lot of injuries last year. Forte was down. Cutler missed the game. That turned to be huge.
Speaking of injuries, you got Alshon Jeffrey hasn't done any minicamp practices yet this year because he's out with, I forgot, is it a hamstring strain, I think it is? Because he running a go-route like 2 weeks ago and he hurt it, and he's still hurt. I mean, last year, he was hurt a lot of the year for us, always getting banged up and stuff. I mean, that's somebody who...
Lower league in offensive pass interference calls.
Well, that's somebody who the Bears need to be, have healthy, I guess, because he was a big part of the offense last year. Or he could have been a big part of the offense last year.
I think he's a good 2 wide receiver next to Marshall. I really like him. I like him. He's big-bodied. I like Bennett coming in.
No, God, it's going to be great. I hope that Cutler uses his tight ends a lot more now. I mean, Kellen Davis is a big body, but Jesus, yeah, Stonehands McGee over here, man.
When he was healthy, he did good last year, and that's Eli. I think Jay has a stronger arm than Eli. Now, on to Tim Tebow.
All right. I love me some Tim Tebow talk.
I hate this topic.
Love him.
I hate it.
First of all, I want to say this. People who hate Tim Tebow because of Tebow mania, Tebow has nothing to do with that. It's not his fault that all these people want to talk to Tebow, all these people want to interview Tebow, all these people want to know how Tebow's doing. It's not Tim's fault. And I personally am a Tim Tebow fan because I don't see why people don't give him a chance. The guy had one chance with the Denver Broncos, and he did great. He's won football games, and that's all that they need to do. A quarterback is need to win football games.
Okay, agreed with that. But I'm not saying I hate Tim Tebow. I really like Tim Tebow. I hope he gets a job somewhere. I really do. Or him getting traded to New York, everybody was just going to downpour on him. The media, everybody, especially in New York. I don't hate Tim Tebow. I hate Tebow mania. I cannot stand people, ESPN in particular, talking about Tebow mania going on for, here, day 2 of minicamp, Tim Tebow out there throwing passes. Oh wait, Tom Brady's the starting quarterback of the Patriots. Do you think Tebow's going to get any snaps? Hell no, he's not going to get any snaps.
But that's just my point, though. Tebow can't control that. People hate him because he gets put on a team. And then the media goes crazy, so everybody hates Tim for that. It's not his fault. Like the guys standing there, have a big old sign that says, "Hey, come interview me." No, they just do it. They want to talk to him.
Nobody said they hated Tebow.
People do hate Tim Tebow specifically for the fact of Tebow mania. And my point being is that he can't help it.
And you know what? It sucks for him. He should have went to the CFL. You know what? He should have went to the CFL.
No, he shouldn't have. No,
he would have got playing time there.
Doesn't matter.
No. This move to New England is good for him.
Third string's gonna be good for him, right?
Being underneath a he's gonna be under a Hall of Fame coach.
He's gonna
Bill Belichick.
Yes, he will.
And he's
going to be the backup quarterback.
Brian Mallett?
He may not be the backup quarterback, but he'll still be able to admire what Tom Brady can do with it.
I'm just saying.
A guaranteed Hall of Famer.
When he came into high school, when he came out of high school and went into college, everyone said he couldn't do it, and he wasn't going to be anybody. And look what he did.
Yeah, he got playing time under Florida, under Chris Lake. He got playing time that year, his freshman year. He got playing time. He was in there as a second string quarterback doing draw play. The Patriots and Bill Belichick are not stupid enough to put Tim Tebow out there and take away snaps from Tom Brady.
My point being, though, is if he has a quarterback like Tom Brady to learn from, that he's a very smart player and he's willing to learn.
Name five NFL teams without an NFL quarterback right now.
Without a quarterback?
Yeah. Like a solid quarterback right now.
Buffalo.
One. And they just drafted...
The Jets.
Who they draft?
Buffalo drafted Geno, I think. No. They drafted... he is out of...
Regardless. Okay.
I remember.
Buffalo just drafted a quarterback.
Buffalo, New York.
Arizona's got Carson Palmer now.
The Jets, though.
Okay, the Jets.
Would you say Minnesota? Would you say Christian Ponders is...
Yeah.
With that...
Dolphins
have Ryan Tannehill.
Tannehill's pretty good. I like him.
He's young.
You can't go from a quarterback.
He's young.
He's pretty good. Okay, he's pretty good. Same with Christian Ponder. He's pretty good.
Ponder's not pretty good.
I'm talking people you would start Tim Tebow over.
Okay.
Well,
Mark Sanchez, definitely.
Oh, how'd that turn out last year?
Didn't have a chance. Didn't have an opportunity. That's exactly what I'm trying to say.
Rex Ryan had an opportunity. He started.
That's Ryan's fault, though. Yeah. He was too stubborn to start Tebow. He did not like Tebow coming in.
Tebow
had that in his mind going into the season.
Tebow's had one chance, and with that chance, he did very well. And then there's no one gave him a chance again. I don't understand why.
Tim Tebow didn't show up till the fourth quarter of any game that he started.
Hey, Luke, did he win football games? He did. That's all that matters. That's all that matters.
Did he win Super Bowl? What's the real meaning behind playing NFL football? What's the real meaning? What do you want?
How many rookies come in and win Super Bowls?
Out of every...
I'm just asking, how many rookies?
He wasn't a rookie.
Okay, well, how many first or second year quarterbacks, especially somebody who wasn't even supposed to get
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, did he win a Super Bowl? Will he be put in any position, sign with any team to win a Super Bowl?
The answer is no.
Exactly.
Because any team that is willing to sign Tim Tebow to a starting deal is not good enough to compete for the Super Bowl.
Willing to take on all that media attention that's given.
Okay, first of all, no one here is saying that Tim Tebow is going to be one of the top tier quarterbacks in the NFL. Do I think Tim Tebow... do I think in the next few years Tim Tebow can be a good quarterback in the NFL or an average quarterback? Yes, I do. I think...
What'd you say, next 5 years?
I said next 2 years.
He won't be in the NFL. He'll be done.
There'll eventually come a point, Palmer will get old enough where he'll call it quits. I mean, Peyton's aging.
Oh, yeah, like the Broncos are going to resign him, right?
Well, If they get rid of John Fox,
It's called the draft.
If they get rid of John Fox, they will. John Fox had it in his mind he was not going to play Tebow. That's why he traded him.
It's called the draft.
That's what I'm saying.
Nobody's gonna.
Tebow's playing time is affected by Tebow mania, which he has nothing. He can't control it. He cannot
It's not
control it.
affected by Tim Tebow.
Yes, you just said it. You just said it. Teams do not want Tim Tebow on their team because of Tebow mania.
Yes, say that.
Ben?
You did say that, Luke.
You can go back and listen to the podcast.
You said any team that is willing to take on media frenzy, that is.
They're taking it on. I never said that's why teams don't sign him. They don't sign him because he doesn't throw the football well.
Or they're not signing him because they don't want to do a Tebow mania.
Or they have a good quarterback. They have quarterbacks in front of him.
Well, Jacksonville's not one of those teams that really.
Chad Henne.
Well,
You're naming quarterback. You're naming average quarterbacks.
You're naming average quarterbacks. Tim Tebow's a below average quarterback.
Who's the worst starting quarterback in the NFL right now?
Worst starting quarterback in the NFL. Oh man. Okay.
I'd go with Mark Sanchez. There's no doubt.
Yeah, probably Sanchez.
Okay, if you had the chance right now,
would I play Tebow over Sanchez?
Yes. Hell yes, I play Tebow.
Okay, so
there's one team.
But is Mark Sanchez an average quarterback in the NFL?
Below average.
Exactly.
Well, he's better than a bad year.
Is he still okay? So the worst quarterback in the NFL is average.
If I think him over Tannehill, I think him.
The 32nd best quarterback in the NFL is average.
Yes. I'd like to say yes.
Average. John Skelton's average.
He's an NFL quarterback.
He's an NFL quarterback. Exactly what Shane said. If he's an NFL quarterback, he has to be good at something.
Well, I think if you could have seen Ben's face, it was priceless.
But I just think no team's gonna sign Tim Tebow to be a quarterback. None.
Well, that's why I think the Patriots are bringing Tim Tebow under Tom Brady's wing to see if he has any potential to be a quarterback.
So they can trade him.
Or
what they're going to do.
Or they're going to try to use him in different schemes, like a running back.
Well, until we see him something in minicamp besides throwing passes, which he's been doing, then you can talk about it.
If you want to see him throw passes in minicamp, turn on ESPN.
And it's NFL Live.
NFL Live dedicated 20 minutes.
Okay. We're going to stop here. It was a good Tebow argument, but we don't want to be like ESPN. And just,
we already are.
Okay, whatever. But speaking of ESPN, oh my God, we would love to see something besides the Heat stuff. It is ridiculous.
Please.
Ridiculous.
I watched SportsCenter today. Okay. I watched SportsCenter today. The Hawks just came off a triple overtime victory. Triple overtime. It showed up on SportsCenter at the 45-minute mark.
And
what filled up the 35-minute mark? The first 35 minutes of SportsCenter.
It was probably the Heat, and then it was probably the Hawks, and it was probably about golf.
It was golf and Heat.
Yeah, and a few sprinkled baseball highlights in.
Maybe.
Well, every time you turn it on, though, there's at least 3 little scrolls on the side that are about Heat, or LeBron, or D-Wade, or...
Who cares? They're an NBA basketball team. That's great that they have the big 3. They're an NBA basketball team. No need for a media frenzy. Nobody cares about the Heat.
A lot of people do.
People do care about the Heat, but...
People, like, it's either you like the Heat,
people outside...
There's people like to...
90% of the people outside of the state of Florida don't care about the Heat.
Yeah.
They hate the Heat.
They care about the Heat.
They care about it.
Let's have a national audience here. Let's get inside the minds of ESPN and have a national broadcast where people want to hear about different stuff rather than the Heat.
We're not arguing with you. We agree. I'm sick of turning on ESPN and seeing nothing but Heat makes me want to turn it off. And then I miss other stuff because I'm afraid if I turn it back on, then I'm going to have to listen to them talk about Miami Heat.
Exactly. Nobody cares about the Heat. Everybody hates the Heat. ESPN's media is... it's so for the Heat, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, even if you watch the game tonight, they're talking about the flop Chris Bosh had when Tim Duncan was trying to post up and was it Parker who drove into the lane?
Yeah, I don't know. Parker or Joseph, one of the two.
Yeah, whatever. But they were talking about like, oh yeah, that's a flop. And they went back and looked at it, and they said the referee called it on the initial contact. I didn't see initial contact, first of all. And second of all, that was the latest whistle I've ever seen in my life. Then that is ridiculous. That is the announcers and everybody else being biased towards the Heat.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous at this point. It's bad.
I agree with you. I about can't stand to watch SportsCenter.
I think that SportsCenter should just have a straight hour segment where it talks about the Heat, gets it out of the way, and it's over.
Well, isn't this ironic that we switch from ESPN to Heat talk right away? Heat Spurs, Game 4, Finals. Heat won by, I don't even know, don't even care how much.
15 or so.
Regardless. 2-2 in the series. I'm still sticking with the Spurs in 6. I still like the Spurs winning Game 5. Dwayne Wade apparently got new tape today. Played great.
Dwayne Wade had 32 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 steals. I mean, where has this been? Where did it come from?
Oh, wait. The Heat are in trouble? Let's turn it on. If you're in the NBA, you should play hard every single minute you're on the floor. Not just when you're needed.
Unfortunately, that's the difference between college basketball and the NBA.
That could be another discussion, too. I mean, I still think the Spurs in 6. What do you guys think?
Spurs in 7. Close game, all these games, well, you have 2 blowout games, but the other 2, they were pretty close during the middle of them. I think they match up well, and Spurs in 7 now.
I like this. I mean, I hate the Heat, and I actually have been playing with the Spurs on 2K for about the last 2 months. I really like the Spurs. I think the Spurs have a really good chance to win it, but I think that they need to get it done soon because a Game 7, I think that just, in Miami, fuel in the fire. I don't know. I just think it'd be a bad situation, but I'm going to take the Spurs in 6.
More media frenzy about ESPN and the Heat. The block on Thiago's Twitter.
Wait, which one?
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, Game 2, Thiago Splitter goes in the lane, tries to one-hand slam, and ESPN thinks that it's the first block in the history of the NBA. Because, I mean, okay, one, tonight, Dwayne Wade and Shane Battier both blocked Thiago Splitter.
When Shane Battier blocks you,
Something's bad.
Something's wrong.
Thiago, you're 7 foot tall. Just get off the ground. Yeah, no shit.
The Heat are up by 15 plus at that time. It's not like it was in a big spot. I like LeBron's blocks coming from the fast break better.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they're more impressive than that. Yeah. I mean, ESPN's thinking that LeBron went up and saved a burning child from a building and then went and blocked Thiago Splitter. And then, sent him to the hospital and gave him, open heart surgery or something.
Granted, if
Thiago
went up with 2 hands, he would have put LeBron on the poster. He decided to be fancy and go with 1. It's easier to block someone who goes with 1 hand than 2.
He was losing the ball, too.
Mm-hmm.
But it was the greatest block in the history of the NBA.
It's beyond ridiculous. And I'm sick of every single time LeBron goes to the hole and he makes a shot, he has to turn around, look at the referee and say, and 1. LeBron, calm yourself down. And every time he picks up a foul, he looks and he's like, that's bullshit. He looks around with his arms up there like, I didn't touch him. Look at this replay. LeBron obviously hit him. Then you got all the ESPN people. That was a bad call. Blah, blah, blah. It's all bullshit.
I totally agree. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's getting to the point where it's ridiculous. But we're going to run out of time here. So we're going to switch gears to our first ever golf on this show.
Yeah. Mickelson, he had a hell of a round. I mean, I really think that rain delay saved him, helped him get mentally prepared for this.
Luke Donald leading through round 1, 4 under. Mickelson second. 3 unders a hell of a round.
For a U.S. Open, last year's U.S. Open, the winner was 2 under.
Rory, 2 years ago.
Last year,
Simpson. And Mickelson,
he was 2 under.
Mickelson was in California at his daughter's graduation and flew straight to the U.S. Open to make his tee time, so he only got to sleep on the plane, if he got to sleep at all on the plane. So, I mean, wherever he shot today was with, probably no sleep, which I think was great.
Tiger Woods, of course, everybody wants to hear about Tiger, only played 10 holes today, 2 over, tied for 51st with a bunch of guys, and, I mean, I don't see any way Tiger wins this. I really don't. I don't think he does.
Well, I mean, if he can break even the first round, I think he'll have a chance at it. But that's just the thing. He needs to break even on his back 9. of first round, and then if he can do that, I think he'll put himself in contention.
Plus, it's a par 70
Yeah.
on the course, so I mean it's different.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Tiger's probably my favorite golfer. Him and I like Ricky Fowler a lot too. But I think if Tiger comes out and plays good tomorrow, get his confidence up a little bit, that he might be all right.
Fowler even, McIlroy even.
I like Roy a lot too.
So Ernie Els even. So I mean it's wide open right now. I mean I like Phil a lot.
No,
you
can't not like Phil.
Phil.
Yeah, you can't
It's
not
like
like Phil. but-
it's really like Tim Duncan. I mean how can you possibly hate a guy who's just been all class all the time, never get into stuff? I like him. Donald's only threw 13 holes too, and he's 4 under, so he's still got holes to play.
Going back to what I said earlier, I was right about Webb Simpson winning it last year, but he shot a 1 over.
1 over and won the whole tournament.
Yes. That just explains how
Wow.
tough the U.S. Open is.
Yeah,
So
but
if you shoot 3 under par round, that is a good round.
You can't really debate that though, because it's like different.
Different course, but I mean, this place hasn't been played in 30 years.
I agree with that. Okay.
So,
I mean, and it was wet, so I guess I understand where you're coming from. That's fine.
I got a quick question. You don't want me to jump off topic real quick, but I was just thinking this. If you had to deal with listening to the Heat all day on ESPN like they do, or listening to Tebow Mania, I think Tebow Mania. I think
Watch TV.
I'd take option C, insanity.
Ooh, insanity reference. Okay, yeah, I like the insanity stuff. But
if you had to pick,
no.
no, you had to.
Tebow Mania.
Yeah, Tebow Mania. I can't stand the Heat more than anything. So
Sorry, one of our listeners, Jackie Carmichael recorded him. He's a big Heat fan. You don't mean to be bashing on your boys, Jackie, but it just kind of happens.
yeah, we're gonna need you get you back on, Jackie, because of the NBA draft that's coming up. What do you guys think the Bulls are gonna do? Big man or shooting guard first round?
Shooting guard.
Big man.
I think big man. They're gonna pick up shooting guard in the second round.
Yeah, that's possible. And I think it depends on what they're going to do with Booze.
And our producer Hunter Uti, where are you going? What do you think the Bulls are gonna do?
Shooting guard.
I,
Hardaway Jr.
that's not a bad pick. I mean, Hardaway Jr.'s.
Yeah, but if you pick Hardaway Jr. in the first round, who do you pick in the second? You have to go big man in the second. There's not too many big men available.
Or I mean, you just signed somebody.
They're disposable.
Well,
Yeah.
they are disposable, but I mean, big men in the NBA aren't what they used to be. I think everyone can agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what the Bulls, that's my opinion, what the Bulls are missing. The Bulls are missing that. Just that electric guy that can, hit threes and just get to the rim and score. We're just missing that scorer. And if the Bulls can get it, somebody who can defend a little bit and
Second
score the ball.
Ooh, okay. Option 1, shooting guard. Option 2, big man. Option 3, trade Dang for a lottery pick.
That's possible. I say
I like option 3.
we talk
Get
about
rid of Dang, move Butler to the 3, move up in the draft, get a better shooting guard.
Macklemore.
Yes.
See, we've talked about him before, like real life Luol Deng. I mean, he's done really good stuff in Chicago for his last few years, but I mean, it is a time. This is a business. This isn't,
This isn't personal.
Yeah, this isn't personal. This is a business. I mean, I'm sure everyone will always welcome Deng back to Chicago with arms open and stuff, but I gotta agree. I think that I thought they were gonna do it last year. I thought they were gonna try to trade Deng to Golden State and try to pick up Harrison Barnes, but
Well, that was going to be the lottery pick that ended up being used on Harrison Barnes.
yeah, that's what I meant. But that's what I thought they were gonna try to do. But I mean, you might. I think I said before, Jimmy Butler's proven to everybody he can play ball. I think that it would be a good thing to do if they can make it happen. But they might have to give up more than just Deng for that first round lottery pick.
Hunter, shooting guard, center, trade Dang.
How old's Dang?
29.
29.
He's 29 years old?
Yes.
Yeah, but he's been playing in the league for
Yeah.
7 years or whatever.
9.
I'd trade him.
I think so too.
Trade him. Do something young.
That's where I'd go. I like Macklemore a lot. That'd be perfect. I think he'd be perfect in the Bulls system. So we're gonna go on a rapid fire session here. Cubs won today in 14. They're still terrible. Sox didn't play today. They're still terrible. We don't have a baseball team. Hopefully the Hawks can win so we can celebrate this for another couple months until the Bears start up. Here we go. Over under 7.5 wins for the Bears next year. Over. I'm gonna have to take the under. What?
No.
I don't think. I mean, teams are gonna game plan against Marshall now.
It's the same team as last year with a better coach. They won 10 games last year under Lovey.
Yeah, not the same team. You're missing your
Okay, you got rid of
Defense isn't going to be where it's at.
You're missing your core of your defense that hasn't been there.
Okay, Urlacher retired. He wasn't that outstanding last season. He provided leadership, but like
You're going to pick Peanut Tillman and Tim Jennings to both make the Pro Bowl next year at cornerback.
Jennings won't, Tillman will.
I don't think so. They were both all pro last year. There's no way.
I don't know. I mean,
I think
they're going to go over. I think the defense, like I said, I think the offense is going to be a lot better. I also think the defense and special teams are still going to, have the same intensity as last year. It might be a little slower to get to the ball, but they're going to start filling in pieces. They're going to have, younger guys stepping up and learning from these guys. And I think that the defense, I don't think the defense will be as good, but they're definitely not going to be bad.
Improved Lions team. I think the Lions are going to be better next year.
Bears division is terrible. Yeah, the Bears division.
I think the Bears
super
are
hard
in last place.
What? Behind Minnesota?
Minnesota's going to be good.
What?
Yep.
Ponder is not good enough to win that many games in the NFC North. They have a running core, but that's it.
I don't think
Until Ponder can consistently pass in the NFC North, Minnesota will not finish in front of Chicago.
Last place. Book it. Lions are going to be better. Reggie Bush is huge.
Okay, the Lions, they will be better than they were last year. They were not very good last year.
Reggie Bush, because they didn't have a running back last year that was consistent. Reggie Bush isn't a great running back, but he's going to be big for them. Plus, Calvin and Stafford's not going to have that bad of a year. The Lions' defense is not going to give up however many points they gave up last year. I just think it's either last place or third place.
So you're basing all the Lions on one player. One play is all it takes. Now one player can be out for the whole year.
Same for the Bears.
Yeah, but the Bears. We're not talking about his out. We're not talking about his one play for the Bears.
If Butler's out, we don't win 6 games.
Exactly.
I'm just saying we're not talking about one play. I'm just talking about the defense as a whole. Not about the offense as a whole.
They are. I said the defense is going to be improved.
Yeah,
but I said the offense is going to be improved for the Lions. I said the staff is going to be improved. I just said the defense is going to be improved.
They got defensive line. That's about it.
Okay. They're not going to be that bad next year.
They're not going to be that bad, but I'm just saying I don't see the defense being better than the Bears.
The NFC's improved.
Oh, God. It's probably the toughest division.
Early Super Bowl picks. Where are you going?
Ooh. 49ers.
Against?
Ravens again.
No way! What?
Okay, here's my...
The Ravens lost 9 players off their Super Bowl team, but we'll go back to that. Then where are you going?
Patriots, Seattle.
Dang it, that was 9. Yes, I'm going Pat Seattle too. The Ravens are going to be terrible. They might be worse than the Bears. It's going to be bad.
I was just kidding, obviously. With
where are you going?
Prediction. I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Nobody's going to beat the Patriots, I don't think. I mean, even with their, I mean,
they got Tebow. That's it. They're Super Bowl champions now.
All right, I'm changing my pick. I'm going. There's not a lot of good teams in the AFC.
I mean,
yeah, the Packers too.
AFC
in the AFC, Shane.
I'm just saying, look at the Packers. This guy new running back.
Broncos.
Let's draft that new running back.
Maybe the Broncos. Maybe.
I mean, if John Fox doesn't make a hell of a conservative call.
Okay, but
at the end of the game, they beat.
Wes Welker's going to help.
Yeah, Welker will help. I think they'll be a good team. They'll challenge the Patriots.
That will probably be the championship game, I think.
Yeah,
but
I think it will too. I like the acquisition of Danny Amendola for the Patriots.
I still don't think. I mean, it's tough. I see the Niners. I see the Niners there too. I mean, the Packers, as Shane said. I don't know how good they're going to be, but I mean, Rodgers.
Didn't just get Ryan Lacey?
Eddie Lacy,
not bad.
I mean, he turns in good, but I think the Seahawks are so good.
They got the offensive line.
Seahawks got Percy Harvin.
Seahawks will be super good.
Toughest division in the NFL.
You know who else will be good next year? No, you know who else will be good next year? And a good team in general, and not just because of one player? The Redskins.
RG3 is going to be hopefully back. Hopefully. Yeah, they signed a wide receiver too. They just did. I can't remember his name, but they just signed a wide receiver too. That's going to be big.
I'm telling you, the Redskins are a team next year you better watch out for because they are going to be there.
Yeah, because
I hope he comes back healthy.
I think if he was healthy, I think Redskins would have gave Seattle.
I bet they would have beat him. I think they would have beat him.
They would have given him a run for their money at least.
I think they would have beat him, but that's just me. Also, toughest division, as Ben just said. I'm going to go NFC West.
I agree.
NFC West is going to be tough. The Niners are going to be there. They're going to be a contender for a Super Bowl. Seahawks are going to be a contender for the Super Bowl. Rams are much improved. They just got Tavon Austin from West Virginia, and he's a stud. And on that turf, he's going to be ridiculous.
And I say the same thing about Sam Bradford when he came in too, though. Just throwing it out.
Yeah, but
there.
Tavon Austin's not a quarterback.
I'm just saying, though, we thought that Sam Bradford's going to
Bradford
around.
I mean, he might. You never know. And, I mean, Arizona, they got Palmer. They're not going to be as terrible. I mean,
They're still pretty bad.
oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Definitely talk about they're bad.
They're okay. But they're not going to be as bad.
It's not going to be as bad, but it's still not going to be.
Yeah, but I don't see a division better than them. Maybe the North. Maybe the NFC North.
I think that's.
NFC North?
Maybe.
Better than what?
The NFC West.
What?
The Cardinals are a real bad, the Cardinals are bad.
If you're talking about if you're talking about
The Cardinals are better than they were last year.
if you're talking about the Bears being one of the worst teams in the division,
I don't know.
if you're talking about
let's match them up.
the bottom two
49ers. 49ers Packers.
49ers Packers?
Who wins?
Depends on what kind of day.
No, just better team. 49ers Packers.
Wow, that's tough.
I have to look. Last year, 49ers. This next year coming up, maybe the Packers.
Seattle, Chicago.
What's the game by?
No, but
I'm just saying better team.
Where's the game?
Seattle's a better team. You gotta go with Seattle. What are you talking
Seattle,
about?
better team.
Yeah, it's not even questionable.
I'm not saying who wins the game. I'm just saying
Young defense, young offense.
Minnesota, St. Louis. With an improved Tavon Austin.
Minnesota.
And Detroit, Arizona.
Detroit.
Maybe the NFC North then. I mean,
But you have to the top of the NFC West is going to be better than the top of the NFC North.
okay.
But the NFC,
I think the NFC North's a better all-around division. I think if I were to pick a division to win the Super Bowl, NFC West.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, who else? There's nobody else out there. The NFC East, Cowboys are going to be bad. Eagles are going to be bad.
Because, in the NFC West, you have two teams that can potentially go to the Super Bowl, Seattle and San Francisco, whereas the NFC North, you have really Green Bay.
That's it.
Yeah.
Chicago's not going to be it.
Yeah, Chicago or Detroit, they don't have the experience or the talent to get that far.
I don't think so. But you never know. Alright, we're going to finish up with a little rapid-fire section. We haven't talked fantasy football on this podcast at all, and that is very disappointing. We had a league last year. Shane Hardy right here won it. Second year in a row. I'm in it. Ben's in it. Our producer, Hunter UT's in it. And Hunter was in the championship game last year, weren't you, Hunter?
Got my ass kicked.
That's okay. He's in it. So, we're going first pick overall. Shane has the first pick overall. Hunter has second. Shane, where are you going with first pick?
I think we're gonna keep.
No keepers.
No.
Just random. Just out of nowhere. Who are you going with? Hypothetically.
Peterson. You gotta go with Pete.
Who are you going with? Who are you going with, Hunter?
Wait a second. Are we talking about we're not doing keepers now or what?
Oh, it was just a hypothetical question.
Okay, you know what? This will be a tough decision because the last 2 years in a row, first overall pick has been Drew Brees, and it doesn't let me down at all. He's been one of the top fantasy quarterbacks. I am fortunate enough to have Cam Newton on my team the last 2 years too.
Which is really the basis why you won it the last 2 years.
Yeah, hypothetically, if I had to pick, I don't know, it'd be between Drew Brees and Peterson. I'd probably go Peterson, but I don't know if I can let Brees go.
Hunter, where are you going?
Well, if Shane kept Brees, I would easily pick Peterson. But if he took Peterson, I'd have to go with my boy Tom Brady.
I do like Tom. And
He's solid.
3 through 10.
What about Rodgers?
Brady's a better fantasy quarterback, right?
Yeah,
I agree with that.
He's a Packer anyway.
I agree with that. So, 3 through 8, we have 8 teams or 10?
I think we're expanding to 10, aren't we?
We're expanding to 10. 10 teams, 3 through 10 is all randomized. If I had the third pick, I'm taking one of the top 3 quarterbacks. Rodgers, Brady, Brees. Somebody's there. Quarterback's crazy deep this year.
Yeah,
Crazy deep.
That's what they got to watch out for.
Because if you could get 2 solid quarterbacks, it's game over. That's why we were talking about taking out the OP, but that's another discussion. Ben, where are you going?
Assuming Shane keeps Brees, Hunter takes Peterson, I take Brady. Shane takes Peterson, Hunter takes Brady. I would probably go with either Rodgers or Foster.
I mean, if Peterson falls in my lap, I don't know how I'm going to pass him
He's
up.
not going to fall in your lap. I'll tell you that right now.
Okay, but
Either of the top, unless Luke gets a 3-pick, Shane,
goes Breeze.
Breeze.
Hunter goes Brady.
Yeah, regardless, he's going to be took in the top 2. If he drops to the 3rd, that'd be insane. He's getting took top 2.
Well, that's what I was thinking last year. I was drafting for one of my leagues, and Arian Foster's. I'm sitting at 2. Arian Foster's right there. First round pick. Somebody screws up on the phone, drafts a backup kicker as the first overall pick in the league. Arian Foster falls right in my lap. I'm in the championship game. So, I mean, crazier things have happened. RG3, you guys buying? Selling?
Buying.
Buying.
Hunter?
Buying.
I'm buying too. I mean, he's too good. I don't think the knee injury is going to be any effect on him. Russell Wilson?
Buying.
Selling.
Ooh, even with Percy?
Depends on where he's at. Like, in the first round,
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying buying, selling stock overall.
picked up Harbin. I can see a sophomore slump coming.
Okay, put it this way. I am buying Kaepernick, too.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And by the way, I had Kaepernick on my team last year, too. I had...
Shane was rocking 3 quarterbacks, which is the reason why he won it all.
I think.
Not to mention, Foster dropped a goose egg for Hunter in the championship game.
Never trust Foster.
He did that to me too. I mean, and okay, I'm buying Russell. Ben, what are you buying?
I hope you're not buying anything, but what are you buying?
What are you buying, Russell Wilson?
Sell.
Hunter?
Buying.
I am too. We're gonna go Matt Forte. Kind of an off-topic guy. Got hurt a lot. Last one, Byron Sunshine.
I don't know. I guess I have to go buying. I mean, what he did 2 years ago was just amazing. I don't see how it could be a freak thing, how he did that. It was a great season for him. Last year he said a lot of injuries. He has no offensive line run behind. I'm going to buy.
Done.
Buy. New system. I like the way it's going to go.
Alright.
Sell because I don't like him.
That's one reason to do it. I'm gonna go sell too.
Garbage.
I honestly, I mean, last 2 years he's been injured. Okay, one more. I'm gonna throw in one more. Rob Gronkowski.
Buy.
Buy.
Even with the back stuff.
Buy.
Yeah,
If he's hurt when we draft.
He's hurt when we draft. It has to be I'd have to see, like,
Where
he's at.
He'd probably go 4th or 5th round, in my opinion.
Or in second round last year.
That was my one. That was my mistake last year. I'm convinced I would have had a better year last year. I had a decent year. I was a 3 seed overall. I would have took Calvin in the second round. Looking back on it,
Are you buying or selling?
buy.
If he's injured when we draft, I'm selling. Hunter?
Oh, you buy. He's the enforcer of the Patriots. You buy him.
I mean, Tom's not going to throw it to anybody, but speaking with the Hawks earlier and some football talk, we had an interview with CSN's own David Kaplan. Here with David Kaplan. David, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good. David is the host of Sports Talk Chicago, the Cubs pre- and post-game guy, and also the co-host of WGN Radio Sports Night. Dave, we'll start out with the Hawks from last night. What was your biggest takeaway from the game?
I thought the Hawks early and out hit the Bruins, so that's probably not the best way to beat them, but Corey Crawford was outstanding. Their defensive core did a really good job, and they always need breaks, and I think the Hawks capitalized when they had opportunities, so that's probably my biggest takeaway. Don't try to out-hit the Bruins. Just make sure you do your job.
Yeah. What was the biggest adjustment they need to make, you think, going into Game 2?
Biggest adjustment going into Game 2 would probably be to know where John is at all times. The guy is just so tough and so big, and his reach allows him to become so disruptive. And the other guy is Milan Lucic. I mean, this guy has been very tough to handle. He scored twice last night. You cannot allow that big body, 6'4", 235, to get that unmolested access he had to the net.
All right, what's your prediction for Game 2 and the rest of the series?
I think the Hawks will win Game 2. I think they're going to probably win it 3-2. I think it'll be a little bit tighter. I can't tell you whether we're going to overtime or not. I had the Hawks win it in 7. I would not be shocked to see the Bruins win Games 3 and 4 in Boston and then come back Chicago 2-2. But I do think it's going 7, and I do think Chicago wins the series.
Fantastic. Switching gears a little bit to the Bears, what do you think the impact was to the Gabe Creamy trade?
I think it's just cutting ties with the past. Another really has no role here, doesn't want to be here because he knows he's not going to play. So you just cut ties, you get what you can. They got a 6th-round pick, and you move on. That's it.
The Bears signed Devin Aromashadu. Looking forward to training camp, where do you see this team at right now?
I think this team will not win as many games as they did last year. I know everyone's excited. They got a new coach. But let's not forget, to win 10 games is exceptionally hard in the National Football League. You're changing systems yet again. This is not an easy thing to do, and I do think Mark Trestman will have brighter days, but I still have them 7 or 8 wins tops.
So the people that don't know, as I said before, you're the Cubs pre- and post-game guy, and the Cubs are renovating Wrigley Field, hopefully in the next 5 years. What is your favorite part of the project?
Of the project, probably seeing them redo the clubhouse. It's so desperately needed for the players. It's imperative that they get this done. They have to finish off making it better for the fan, give them more creature comforts, like the Jumbotron, like more bathrooms, wider aisles, just all of it. And then the players, they have some facilities. It's awful.
David Kaplan, thanks for being on.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me. Anytime.
No problem, thank you.
That was David Kaplan. Big thank you to him. He was great on the show. Could not be a nicer guy. Hopefully we can have him back. But that is going to be it. This podcast is way too long. I don't even know why we talked this long. Regardless, I'm Luke Jett. Follow me on Twitter. Shane Hardy, Ben Marks, and our newly acclaimed producer, Hunter Utzi, over there. See you next time. We are out.